Hello and welcome to this presentation. Thank you for joining. I am Dr. Ganix Lasa, member and researcher of Mondragon University in Spain, and together with my colleagues Ichazo González and Maitane Mazmela, we have been involved in the definition of future scenarios, and today we will present a paper which is called The Future Scenarios of the Lighting Industry Towards a More Sustainable and Innovative Market. This is an activity or research paper that has been done within a ReproLight project. ReproLight project is a Horizon 2020 funded project, that is that will last in 3 years, and we are about to finish. It's at the very last stage of the project. The world is in the midst of the major transformative moment, and sustainability, among other aspects, has become one of the biggest challenges for the current society. In this context, the question that arises is not just whether on how sustainability will change the current products that will be launched, but rather what implications will be observed in the lighting value chain and what impact they will have on the current market. And that's the question that we will try to answer in the next few minutes. This article outlines 6 specific future potential scenarios, 3 scenarios for continuous light luminaire or light luminaire for industry context and office, and another 3 scenarios for office environments with brand new concept, which is called the personal table light, PTL. And we will describe all the filters and all the tools that we will have used in the last few months to describe the future potential scenarios of the lighting industry. ReproLight Consortium, just as for description, consists of different members. It's a consortium there, partners such as Bartenbach, for light expert, manufacturers such as BGB, Runner, or Grad Zero, and industry manufacturing such as here in this case Trilux, communication experts, which is Looker, sustainability experts, IREC, and then last but not least, the Mondragon University, where our role is just to contribute with our social technology expert approach, and we have tried and we are trying to get involved the human perspective and integrate it in the processes that we are carrying out in our project. Today, the European lighting industry faces toward competition from the growing global market, and sustainability, as I mentioned it before, is an ongoing concern. We think that is a time for a different approach. And we are doing and contributing somehow, providing new tools and new ways to do things to this ReproLight project. ReproLight is, as I mentioned it before, is a European research project that aims to support the European lighting industry to move towards a more sustainable and competitive future. Then our mission as a project, just a few words. ReproLight wants LED luminaires to no longer be thought as a generic disposable objects, and our mission is to transform LED luminaires into a customizable, sustainable, with a high function value that offers light to improve health and well-being, which is one of the main aspects that we are trying to go with. Our goal, as I mentioned, mission and goals. ReproLight is harnessing innovative technologies and materials to design modular luminaire architecture. That there are some other presentations here in this virtual conference that we are showing all the contributions and all the technology developments that we are carrying out. And in this case, we will, in the next few minutes, we will talk about the CLL, the continuous light luminaire, and the PTL, which is the personal table light. Replied is coping, as I mentioned, with two main topics in the project. On the one hand, we have the circular economy and sustainability, just in blue. And then on the other hand, we have the light for health and well-being. This is just considering the impact that the light has on human. And then as a base, the main layer, we have this approach that we are trying to contribute with, which is a human-centered design approach, where here in Mondragon University we have our own user-centered design methodology, which is divided in different and specific steps that have been applied during the project, and we have some other experiences with other sectors, with other kind of products and so on. But in this specific case that we are talking about the future scenarios, we have adapted this methodology, and generally speaking, we can say that we have divided in three main steps. We have scan for trends, analyze the patterns, and theorize the impact. Then we have developed multiple future world, or in this case, sector scenarios that finally have been, we have defined 6 future potential scenarios. And then as a last step, what is pending to do, but in this case, just referring to the implementation and launch step of the process, would be just to test the strategy against the scenarios and make little or huge adjustments. In the role-play project, scenarios have been used to help us to share the product vision and visualize the potential values and opportunities that Red Light Luminaire can bring to the user, client, company, and environment. These scenarios have been used to identify the implications that each potential scenario might have on the current luminaire value chain. Scenarios, for those that are not familiar with, are kind of a rich and detailed portrait or picture of a plausible future condition, of future world. Scenarios help to get a grid of the future, by visualizing it and making it as realistic as possible. In this case, what we have done is just to set up or define it using a storytelling tool, mainly showing them by pictures. Scenarios, even more. They help focus thinking on the most important factors driving change in any product or service, then by considering the interaction between these factors, it can improve also the understanding of how change works, and we can do it to guide it, So it's a really interesting activity and tool just to analyze, just to visualize what is going to happen in the near future. As has been mentioned before, the potential future scenarios have been developed according to the type of luminaire, usage context, sustainability features, lighting intelligence level, and personalization features. That are mainly aspects that have been working within the Reparate project, and are related to the different developments that we are carrying out or developing in consortium. Yeah, those are the main 3 steps. Yeah, the future scenario structure, products, features, and scenarios, as I have mentioned it, and the future scenario brief as a third step. Then another interesting aspect is the application field, which is the office, industry, and retail. Yeah, based on the interest of the sector and the impact, yeah, that the luminaire have. Then regarding the whole pictures, yeah, and visualizing them into a just one frame, we have worked in 2 main developments, yeah, or technologies: the continuous light luminaire, the CLL, and the personal table light, yeah. And as I mentioned before, we have divided in 3 different steps, yeah, and contributing with the use of different sort of tools, yeah. In the first step, we have used the storytelling technique. Storytelling is a narrative of the complete path, yeah, followed by a character in the chosen context, yeah, in this case, the luminaire contest, yeah. It shows the value in use by a sequence of realistic service moments, yeah. It presents the experiences of the customer and helps to better understand what the experience of the intended user is like, yeah, or would like, yeah. To build the storytelling, first, it has to be considered what the beginning of the history is and how it will develop and end, yeah. And then together, as a next step, and based on this storytelling and this narrative, we have described a product service system map, yeah, which is the step 2 for each scenario. For each, we are talking about 6 different future scenarios, and we have described a product service system map for each specific scenario. For those that are not familiar with this PSS map, the PSS is a synthetic graphical representation that shows in one single frame all the different stakeholders involved in a product service delivery, yeah, and their mutual links that could depend or could go from the flows of material, energy information, to money, documents, yeah, or any kind of communication flow that could happen between the stakeholders, yeah. And here you see a kind of a picture there. The PSS clarifies how the different stakeholders and roles are connected one to the other, showing the values they exchange. Yeah. PSS, even more, is considered as an excellent vehicle to enhance competitiveness on the one hand and to foster sustainability simultaneously. Yeah. So it perfectly fits in the general approach of Reply project and our objectives. Yeah. There are certain references and works that are related to this or the impact, the contribution that the PSS has or could have in the sustainability aspects of the company. Yeah, there are certain references in the paper too. And finally, as a first step, we have worked in defining the 5 P's of the marketing. Yeah, 5 P technique, which is all about product, price, promotion, place, and people, and just defining all these 5 P aspects. We define as such a strategy to put into the market the product. After that, as a first step, we have defined the key lighting factors. Yeah, the key lighting factors that, based on the developments that we have carried out in the Reply project, we went through. Yeah, and we have identified just to start defining the potential scenarios. Yeah, based on the different capabilities that the luminaire or the technology in this case have. Yeah, the key lighting factors are light filters that have been used to create scenarios. Yeah, To define them, an exhaustive list of features that characterize the reprolite luminaires was developed, and next features which refer to the same idea were removed, and the remaining features were grouped and discussed with the luminaire aspects from the consortium. As a result, we have 7 groups of key factors, and their corresponding subfactors were defined and described. And in this case, we have type of product, which is divided in 2 main aspects. Could be premium or standard product. Then we have the application, that could be office, industry, or retail. Then we have the light intelligence criteria, that is based on the technology that we have developed, and then sustainability aspects, that could go from maximum energy efficiency to maximum material efficiency, Those are a different kind of strategies, and then as a first option could be the renewable energy grid, As a last key factor is the aesthetics. We're using it thanks to the 3D printing technology, could be a really interesting feature that could be integrated to the luminaire technologies, Then we have, and just referring to this table, we have 3 scenarios that are describing different sorts of elements that are including, for in this case, we are talking about the CLL, the continuous light luminaire, where depending on the scenario, we are proposing a standard or premium kind of product, with different sort of theaters. Then we have the same for the PTL, the personal table light, another 3 scenarios, scenario 4, 5, and 6, And here we have the same potential future scenarios based on the premium or standard type of product, different sort of application fields, and then technology that could be integrated into this project. This is an approach, and this is the strategy that we have followed. Then after that, we have a sort of a brief description of each scenario. We have done, as I mentioned it before, a specific storytelling and product service system map for each scenario. And here we have the description for each scenario. We have the CLL scenario 1, which is the scenario that represents the way in which the companies manage the luminaire installation and refurbishment. The installation and refurbishment will be done considering, in this case, the maximum energy efficiency criteria. And of course, this scenario has a huge impact in the product service system map, and we have analyzed that. Then the same for the scenario 2. We have the premium, in this case the application field is the industry, and another sort of technology that has been integrated into this second scenario. And then the third scenario for the CLL. And then the same for the PTL, that we have 3 potential future scenarios. We started with the standard in the office environment and with personal lighting technology, and then 2 more scenarios, the 5 and the 6, which is the premium type of product, with a bit more kind of features that has integrated, and also the last one, which is the 6th one, also with the capability to be personalized technologically and in terms of aesthetics. So regarding the storytelling, as a tool, this is a representation for scenario 2, for example, as I mentioned it before, we are talking about a narrative of the complete, it's a narrative of the complete path, followed by a character. In this case, is Anna, that is this is how the journey starts, and this is part of the storytelling, it presents the experiences, or the idea here is to highlight the experiences of in this case, Anna, and the representations help and trigger discussion internally and help to better understanding what the experience of the intended user, could like, or would be. In this case, we have used just to discuss internally, share common view, and discuss about the topic, about the future potential scenarios. And then, on the other hand, we have the product service system map. For those that are not familiar with this kind of tools on visualization maps, as I mentioned it before, we have different sort of layers, or flow, communication flow. I mean, line flows. How to say? We are talking about a synthetic graphical representation that shows in this single frame all the different stakeholders that are involved. I mean, different layers, different sort of levels, and kind of stakeholders that are taking part. In different scenarios. This is just for the scenario 2. Just after concluding this activity, we have concluded, or we have realized, that due to the creation of new advanced services that are related to the Luminar systems, in the near future, mainly related to the sustainability and customer satisfaction, new stakeholders will join the current PSS, I mean the current product service system realities, and some others will definitely disappear. So it's a quite interesting situation that is coming up in the near future, where based on the new services that will arise or will be created related to the Luminar systems, it will be interesting how to see how new kind of actors, new companies, and new kind of services will be created in the new future. And for example, this kind of we are talking about here different sort of layers, recycling, materials, service flow, software flow as well, and 3D flow, which is related to the aesthetics and the capability of personalizing the 3D components, and that will be a challenge for sure for the Luminar sector. Then, as a main conclusions, or the lesson learned, how to say, the future scenarios have been developed, as a summary, according to the type of Luminar, usage context, sustainability features, lighting features that we have described, lighting intelligence level, and also which was a kind of a big and important aspect, which is the personalization feature. We have used both, storytelling and the PSS maps, and this research help us to define the implication that each potential scenario may have on the Luminar value chain, for different kind of products, going from standard to premium, and all those things. And yes, based on these statements, and the lessons learned, we could say that as a main conclusions that the analysis shows that the level of intelligence embedded in lighting system will be one of the most relevant axes that will drive innovation in the future lighting. When we have the second predominant factor, which could be considered comfort. This system seeks to adapt the qualities and characteristics of the lighting to needs of the environment. Then we have as another important factor, which is sustainability, and main core aspect of Replicate project, But it's true that sustainability lighting requires stakeholders with knowledge in remanufacturing processes, techniques, and technologies, this is an aspect that we have to take into account. And finally, the customization of the lighting systems, we see that is the key feature for the future, Thanks to the new technologies such as 3D printing, the manufacture of customizable lighting begins to be a reality, And we think that could be a quite realistic potential scenario. So, after all, and we can say that the next steps, within Replay project, it's true that the obtained scenarios highlighted the impact in the near future that sustainability and innovative approaches will have on the luminaire company structure and on the whole value chain perspective. But it's true, as I mentioned it before, that due to the creation of new services, new advanced services in the near future, mainly related, we guess, to the sustainability and customer satisfaction, new stakeholders definitely will join the current sector, the current product service system map as a whole, And as I mentioned it before, we guess that some other will disappear, or will have less effort, let's say. The Reply project is about to reach the implementation and launch stages of the design process, as I show here. So now it's time to, as I mentioned it before, to testing the strategies against the potential scenarios, measure the impact that the scenarios would have in the companies, and make adjustments accordingly, So it's time to reflect and see how the impact is. So that was all from my side. Thank you for reaching this point of the video, of the presentation. I hope you find interesting the potential of this design approach to describe future potential scenarios and the tools we have used to reach the main objective of this future scenarios activity within the Reply project. In case you have any question, do not doubt in contacting me and throw me an email. Here I share my email address. So nothing else from my side. Thank you again and hope to see you.